Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand me like that, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Fellow beings, and welcome to another late night culture event show. We have a panel that will be growing by leaps and bounds once Midnight's Edge After Dark gets off the air. Number 16th movie or whatnot that they're going through out of, I think, 87. So that's been done over 2 nights, but I do have a wonderful panel here. We brought one wonderful lady with us this evening, and of course, the man who runs the entire internet. Not to mention the fact that my editor, the amazing Mr. Grant Gregory, who just had a birthday, is here as well. Let's say hi to each and every one of them. We've got the amazing internet man, Jason from Sci-Fi For Me. God, that was amazing.
Hello there.
He went full Jedi on us. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Well, and there's a reason for that. I'll get to it after the introductions.
Well, very good. I think I introduced you quite properly there, internet boy. Yeah. How is the internet going today?
We haven't broken it yet. Give us time though.
All right, very good. Very good. Thank you, Jason. And of course, right below Jason is his well, believe it or not, that's Mrs. Boss for him. It's Mindy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And you look a lot more comfortable than Internet Man there. I'm kind of jealous right now. I'd love to be chilling on a couch right now. That'd be fantastic.
I've got a dog there and I've got a dog there. And he would be whining if I was downstairs.
Yeah, you are encumbered with animals, is what it is. So, well, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. I appreciate it. And I know it's going to be late for you, but you have a holiday tomorrow, so I'm
I
glad.
do.
I'm glad you can stay up with us for a little while. Anyway, that's Mrs. Boss. And then right below me, of course, is the editor extraordinaire who makes me look pretty good most of the time. It's the Mr. Grant Gregory, who's now sporting an action figure of me.
Yeah, I'd never go full Star Wars like Jason. I can't stand that. You never see me support it. But yeah,
Well,
this is the Obi-Wan CC. If they're going to bring in multiverses, they might as well bring CultureCasino into it. It's the only way I'll ever watch it again.
That's right. And if I can tell you right now, I promise you, I would be the best Star Wars. I love all the Star Wars. That was Leslie Headland's line, right? I love all the Star Wars. Thank you. All right.
She said, "I love all the Star Wars."
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah, I love all the Star Wars.
I'm surprised she didn't say I love all the Weinsteins. Anyway, we did get a super chat early on from a wonderful creator and friend, Stuttering Guitarist, for $20. Says, "Love you, brother. Keep it going." Thank you, Stuttering Guitarist. That is truly amazing and very generous, my friend. You are wonderful. I had the opportunity to hang out with Stuttering Guitarist a couple of times this weekend, and it was just glorious. And we are off and running, folks. We got a lot of you here. I highlighted a lot of you as we were going through the intro. You know what? I can play a clip because Tom's not here and he won't be able to complain if I play a clip as a thank you for this amazing super chat right here. I think you're a gold mine, Stuttering Guitarist.
I see you have money. Want to take me on a date?
And not to be outdone, of course, the amazing Space Dave 2000 gifts 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, Space Dave. I appreciate it. And so do those 5 people that just got gifted memberships. We truly appreciate it. Even Darth Scipio is the recipient. Recipient? That is not the right word. Recipient. There's the right word.
No, I think you had it right with recipient.
Recipient, because he's Darth Scipio. Okay, very good. Anyway, so thank you, Space Dave. And you know what? You're going to get a clip because Tom's not here. He can't complain.
Oh, man. That's some sweet cheddar. Guys. Yeah.
Dals Wolfen has been here for 15 months. Thank you, my friend. He says, "Hail to the panel and to the chat. Hail to the weave." Well, thank you. Someday I will conquer that ugly rumor. That ugly rumor. Let's see. We've got Cuddles. I sent you a Dick's Division meme. All right. Well, I'll check it out. And oh, look, it's Keto Simple. What's up? Keto Simple's like, "I'm in bed." Okay. Well, I'm kind of jealous, but I always do this to myself on Sunday nights, and I do it because I like hanging out with all of you. Hemorrhoid Hurt sends an Australian $2.99. Says, "Hello, harvested my first honey from the Flow Hive." That is awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome. A lot of honey farmers here, a lot of honeybee farmers here are getting ready to close down their hives for the year and make sure that there's plenty of food there, feeding their bees with plenty of sugar so that they survive the winter through the hibernation cycle. So
my 99-year-old uncle has bees.
Bees.
He's 99.
99. Well, good for him. That's
I always enjoy my friend who's up in the Seattle area. He does bees, and he's got a thermal gun thing to check up on them every so often to make sure there's still a heat source inside during the winter time.
That's fantastic. And that makes a lot of sense. I love that. That's amazing. We got another member chat here from Frank Hammett. Frank is here. What's up, Frank? It says, "Hail all." Hail to you, Frank. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for 9 months, Frank. The Gramcast is here. He says, "I had to fight off bees this weekend in a sunflower field." Wow. That doesn't sound like fun. Fight them off. You just walk away.
Try getting chased by a swarm of orange assassin bugs.
That was hilarious. in
No,
the
it wasn't.
end.
No,
Well,
it
no,
wasn't.
not for you,
Painful.
but when he comes
Painful.
running in, where are you?
Painful.
Open the door.
That's funny. That's funny.
Sure it is. Sure it is. It hurt. I got 6 or 7 stings that day.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's,
I was
see,
mowing
now
my
that-
grandmother's lawn once in Oklahoma, and suddenly I just felt this burning pain in my calf. And I looked down, and it was covered in yellow jacket.
Yeah.
I had run over their nest in the ground with the lawnmower, and it pissed them off. And yeah, I could not walk for about 3 days after that.
Well,
Quite
I
painful.
would say that doesn't sound a lot of fun, especially since I know what those things are like, and they have a chance of making you quite ill. But it's good to see you, Tox. How was it going over there at the Horror Film Central?
Man, they have a lot to say about each film. That's all I'm saying. So, when you talk for 2 hours on number 84, right, you're not going to get through the list, right? Yeah. So as it started getting up to the movies and stuff that there was going on, but Mrs. Flu has an early flight tomorrow, and I wanted to come over and say hello.
Yeah.
And Culture, you are my brother. I love you, and I had to come over here and do that platonically.
Okay.
Platonically.
That's
Yes.
fine. Oh,
Platonically.
and Parrot had wanted to make sure that you saw this meme that he created specifically for Dick's division. So here it is. Yeah, Culture Casino.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
Dick's division, Dick Shark.
It's a limited edition.
That doesn't look good.
Well, it's actually a part of a spin-off. It was originally from the Piranha Pussy trilogy, and that was the spin-off. So
Was Dick Shark.
I'm gonna have to mark this stream for cursing now, but it was worth it.
Right.
It's
It's a collector's edition. 2 discs.
2-disc collector.
2 discs. It's so big. It's the movie that's so big, it takes 2 discs.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. I think Jason brought something up too.
I did. The reason I was doing the whole Obi-Wan thing, because we finally found out what Guillermo del Toro was going to be working on for Star Wars. It was going to be the rise and fall of Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I can see why they didn't make it.
yeah. I mean, other than Gail Simone, who else could you picture in that role? Yeah,
Lizzo,
Gorlock the Destroyer.
no,
Yeah,
I think Lizzo would have been a good choice. But no, to be fair, I think this would be a great concept. I think they would have had to marry it to the Boba Fett show, right?
Maybe, depending on how they did it. The other way they could have gone would be to tie it into the Solo trilogy that we didn't get and do Jabba the Hutt and then, the Hutt cartels against Red Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever Darth
That
Maul
group.
was in charge. Yeah, that other one. So that one that you could have done. I think it would have been an interesting thing to see a crime thriller set in the Star Wars movies. I could see it.
Me too.
It would be interesting with Del Toro doing it, though.
Indeed. We've got a few other folks popping in. We can pop back to this, but that would be an interesting thing. It's interesting that Collider ran with that article too, so that good on them.
They did it. They did the interview with him.
Oh, fantastic! Wow, they're getting back to their roots. Release the McCracken is here. What's going on? We got the Peter Venkman fan site with us. I highlighted Graham already, but there's that. A lot of turkeys today. That's right. It was Canadian Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian brothers and sisters. I hope that you were able to celebrate it well. The boss is here. Hi, Culture Boss. Polomies is here. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're being safe, and thank you for taking care of all of us and all of our needs. 11 Alphas out there. We got Rob Altus. There's Geiskar, otherwise known as the Bosco Scenario. Good to see you, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving to him.
Yeah,
He is Canadian.
he is Canadian. Well done.
And there's Jaffo.
Yeah,
Jaffo's done some really great stuff.
He's not Canadian though.
Beachpunk.us. No, he's definitely American.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Jaffo is a great artist. He's been doing art designs for the beachpunk.us website, so you can check out that. That's a site that I share with the flu guy down there, and you should be going by there at some point, right? www.beachpunk.us.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
Good stuff.
wonderful gear there. I'm getting my gear hopefully tomorrow. Start sporting some quality gear. Saltzilla's out there. We got Makini draws. Makini's a talented artist. One of the first images that I had was done by this guy right here. He also did some art for Lorena, who I think is in the chat as well. Theliato's like, that's a xenomorph. Well, I guess it's probably true. Hey, Hank V's here. What's up? Let's see. Who else is in the house? I think I saw Lorena. I did. There's Lorena right there. We just did. Jabba the Hutt would be offended at Lizzo playing him. Holy cow, Lorena. My goodness. Woo. Lorena and I just got done doing a bingo stream over on her channel. We are Welcome to Florida. We do all the stories we can't get to from all the Florida man stories that you love to see on Sunday nights. So that was fun.
The problem with Lizzo playing that role is that you'll never see Mos Eisley. It'll always be in her shadow.
Wow, we're going a little hard there.
What?
Nothing. It's fine.
Do you see any kind of crack in my logic?
No, not at all. I didn't say the logic.
There was a line in the 1977, the original film, where Biggs was turning to Luke and says, how can we go down and hit this, shaft here on the Death Star? And Luke turns and says, come on. We used to fly up Lizzo's crack and bullseye womp rants back home, and they're not much bigger than 2 meters. So,
true story.
True story.
YouTube Cast TV is here. It's like, oh my goodness, early in the morning in New York. I hope you get some rest tonight. Becky Brown was watching one of her friends get an amazing interception during the football game today. Andrew Wordna is here. We've got lots of folks hanging out. One Punch Man Tolkien fan. Look at that. Funnily enough, Bing banned Jabba from being in their synthography generator. Really?
Yep. Actually, they've started to knock back all the Star Wars characters.
Oh.
Which except for Reva, which basically shows that she's clearly not a Star Wars character.
I'm not sure if you're being funny or not.
No, I'm being dead serious. You can do AI generations of Reva, but you can't do anyone else that was in Obi-Wan.
That is bonkers.
That might be a rights issue, because if Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are legacy characters, there could be some rights issues there tied up with anything from the original trilogy.
So anything that George has control over?
Maybe.
That's crazy.
That's a complete guess on my part. I do that sometimes.
It would also explain some other things. We've got some folks over in Odyssey I want to say hi to, like TZ Burton, Fort Critical, Jason's over there. A few other folks showed up. What I like about the chat in Odyssey is you can send like animated GIFs and little clips and just amazing pictures.
I will be so glad when Odyssey gets their hands untied.
Yes. I thought technically they had been.
The last email that I got from them, because I had them talking to them about analytics and some other stuff that we needed to get over there. And they said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we want to do, but right now our hands are tied. So my impression is that they've still got some stuff that's got to work out with the library stuff with SEC or whoever it is with the crypto and whatever. And that may not necessarily be
exchange and federal trade.
Yeah.
I think it's the FTC that's going after them.
That's crazy.
Didn't I see that library was suing them? Aren't they doing a countersuit or something now?
Yeah, they're doing it there. They feel like that they've been singled out, and they kind of sort of have. But yeah, we'll see how the tides change as things happen.
I'm curious to see what happens with that in the wake of the Sam Bankman-Fried trial.
Well, he seems to be getting his butt kicked by his so-called friends and partners at the moment, at least as far as the testimony goes.
The boss.
Yeah, but we have a celebrity here. I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's this guy. This guy, his name's Eric K. He's a celebrity, and we have. Oh my goodness, it's a Rough Girl sighting. Greetings,
Hey.
Rough Girl. I hope you're doing well. Thanks
Good
for
to see
stopping in.
you.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We've got Psychotic Mongoose here, SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor, the hardest name for me to say ever when I'm doing the show. And Liger Fan, of course, is hanging out with us. But thanks for being here, everybody. Got Low Spec out there. You guys I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, let's move on because I want to talk about. There's two stories in particular that I picked up that I really did want to talk about. Hey, John Gibson's here. And they were both bad news. Just depending upon what kind of bad news, you're looking for. I'm going to start first with some folks that I usually think are underappreciated, and those are animators. And right now in Hollywood, there have been lots and lots of job losses. They estimate that potentially because of the strikes, they lost like tens of thousands of jobs potentially. And they're probably right. But right now, there are people that weren't even directly affiliated with any of those things. And they're losing their jobs now. So DreamWorks Animation's laying off 70 employees right now. And that's a substantial portion of their workforce. But I guess it only works out to like 4% or something.
Yeah, it's a small number.
Yeah.
That's still a large part. So most of your reduction in force in a normal economy is about 1%.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4% is a major drop off in the work that they're getting, especially what these people, and it depends on what these positions are. But you got to think that DreamWorks has IT people and artists. It's got financial, it's got HR, it's got marketing. But really, what else do they have that's high priced outside of that? I mean, is DreamWorks doing its own marketing for the films, or do they have a gigantic marketing department? I mean,
I would imagine, unless they're relying on the distributors handling all of that. All I know is that 70 employees is a ton. How many of those are animators is what I've heard reported to be the majority of the people that are being cut are animators. Now, if that's the case, are they scaling back on what they're making? Because they seem to have had a lot of announcements about things that were going to be on the horizon. Kind of worried about that.
Well, were those things announced before the strikes, or during, or after?
It was before the strikes. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm wondering if that had some impact as well.
Yeah. Well, let's read through the story, see if we get an answer. But it looks like DreamWorks Animation reduced its workforce by approximately 70 positions. Roles affected were across corporate functions. Okay. Feature, that's not good. Television, also not good. And technology departments. As well as overall cost reduction. Well, there you go. Yeah. As part of the cost-cutting measures, DreamWorks is shifting away from producing films fully in-house. See, there it is. So that's the people that make things happen. And they're going to rely on third-party studios. Wow.
They're just becoming a shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say they're stripping everything out of it.
And that's the worst thing that you can do. That's where all your talent is. That really bums me out.
It's like Ford Motor Company. They took all of their manufacturing stuff and they moved that to other countries. Now they may assemble here or so whatever, but all the manufacturing and stuff is done somewhere else. So the whole heart of what used to be buying a Ford or buying a Chevrolet is gone.
Yeah.
I'm better off buying a quote unquote foreign car that's put together and gives people jobs in Georgia or some other state. So
the state of Georgia or the country?
The state.
Okay.
But, it's sad to see.
It is. It really,
This is a great American success story. And of course, Spielberg getting up there,
Yeah.
A lot of these big personality type companies don't last long. You look at Walmart, Sam Walton, after he passed away, it's still a powerhouse, but it wasn't the same innovator that it was before. Apple.
Yeah, and the kids, the Walton kids, they don't care as much.
No, all they've done is really just push policy and do stuff because they had silver spoons in their mouths. That is destroying what built the company.
Yeah.
They're in Arkansas is having a hard time because of all that. So it just, the things that we had as kids as we were growing up doing all that, Spielberg, Lucas, they're all getting older.
Yeah.
My parents had talked to me about this my mother was a huge movie fan, went all the time. So that's where you got your news. That's where you got the serials. That's where you got comedy and you got drama, and you spent all day there and evenings and stuff, and would have stuff. And she would talk to me about the movie stars and things that she loved as they would pass away as she got older, and the movie makers and all of that stuff that would be, just kind of going away from there. I'm seeing some of the things saying same things for me happen now. I mean, Luke Skywalker, I almost said Star Wars. Luke Skywalker was such a iconic character, a young man, all that stuff. And when I saw him in Kingsman, I was like, who is that fat, out of shape, grumpy old man? And it was Luke Skywalker. And you're just like, oh. Yeah. So, and he wasn't the same thing in whatever those abominations were, the trilogies or whatever they were after that. But yeah.
Well, and we talked about this on Thursday on the stream that we had. There are hardly any movie stars left. There's Harrison Ford, there's Tom Cruise, and who else? I mean, who right now is a bona fide movie star? Because we were talking about the whole Beyonce, Taylor Swift.
Well, no, we were talking about Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. But who else? I mean, how many are there? There's not any anymore. I mean, there's not any real bankable movie star types like there used to be. It's a lost art.
Well, I think we eliminated movie stars a long while ago. I think the fact that they let them talk was a problem. The fact, I'm not kidding.
It's culture. Things were better back in the silent movie days when I was a kid. And talkies ruined it all.
I'm not talking about women's suffrage here, Talks. I'm talking about.
We gave them the vote, and everything went to hell.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Casino.
Come on. No, but honestly, I think the minute social media came around, and the fact that the studios weren't necessarily giving a lot of guidance, and they just kind of let these people talk, they thought they were making them more charming, more endearing, more relatable, but it did the exact opposite. Right. Because now you've removed the mystique and the mystery, and the sense of them being untouchable, or in a different plane, otherworldly. I mean, I can go with a lot of adjectives, but it just, I think
we've got 3 hours.
But I think that truly,
I'm comfortable.
There you go. Yeah, you are. I know. I'm very jealous. But I think that changed everything. I think that we now knew just how dunderheaded many of these people were.
Well, plus the other part of that too is the fact, okay, one, the studios let them go without any guidance, like you say. Two, the audience was hanging on. Oh, what did George Clooney say about this? What did Glenn Close? And then you've got actors testifying in front of congressional committees or whatnot about roles that they played, about these things, these situations, the plight of the farmer and all this. Like, you're not a farmer, you're an actor. But these actors came to this with this sense of self-importance. Oh, you want to ask me about such and such and such? Let me tell you what I think. I mean, and then you get Mark Ruffalo all over the place doing what he does, George Clooney and whoever else, spouting off about all sorts of topics which they might know something about or they might not know something about, but who cares, because it's a movie star talking about it. And of course, that lends them automatic credibility, the fact that we see them on the screen all the time. And they just ran with that. And there were no checks. There were no, hey, maybe you should sit this one out. And social media exacerbated that, but the entertainment media started. I mean, Entertainment Tonight was doing it. People Magazine does it. And the internet just made it worse.
I think you're right. And I want to say, Glinzer, I think this hits the nail on the head. I don't know. Do you guys disagree with this statement that the bona fide stars are over 50 and that's about it?
How old is Jennifer Connelly?
She's in her 50s.
50, 58?
She doesn't look 58.
No, she doesn't.
It's amazing.
Speaking of not looking your age, they just showed a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer, who is 65 years old with no makeup, and she's gorgeous.
Radiant.
It's one of those, because I've seen that lately where it's like, oh, here's Helen Hunt with no makeup on, and this and this and that, and 'cause it's a new thing to be over a certain age with no makeup on. But yeah, they showed her.
I'm not wearing any makeup right now.
I'm not either. Nor will I.
We're gonna get killed.
We have other priorities first.
There you go. I know this, Mephisto. I really hope you stay safe, brother. You're in a terrible situation at the moment, and we're with you, brother. Just so you know. Rogue Thinker's joining us. Jaden Smith. I don't think Jaden's going to be a superstar, but thank you for that, Rogue Thinker. Toy fanboy. Sorry, I'm late to the party. You're never late, my friend. Black Kaz says Will Smith. Will Smith could have been a movie star still. I think he kind of messed himself up. I think
he did.
He had potential.
Well, he was for a long time a movie star. I will agree with that. But
I'll name one movie where he carried on his own. One successful movie he carried on his own. Exactly.
Well,
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Name a movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger carried on his own. Oh, wait. All of them. Name a movie that Sylvester Stallone carried on his own.
Yeah.
All of them. Right? Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
All right. And that's Cary Grant. Right? Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Right.
Your point's well taken.
Grace Kelly. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
One of the best films I've ever seen is called What Lies Beneath, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford in it. And it is a suspense thriller that they use camera angles and sound and the score to really kind of just give you jump scares and other stuff things from there. It's a great film, my opinion. There's two movie stars making a good film.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Will Smith, I just can't. Has he been in some great movies?
Oh yeah.
As a ensemble? Yes. I mean, maybe what was the one where he played the stockbroker that was homeless? He was a homeless guy and worked his way up.
That was
Happiness.
Pursuit of
Happiness or whatever there.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can say that was a good film, but was it hugely successful?
No.
Critically acclaimed.
I would say
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I Am Legend, maybe.
Yeah.
Success. I Am Legend, I don't think was a successful film.
What was that one he was in with his kid?
That
After
was
Earth.
the no, that was The Pursuit of Happiness.
No. His kid wasn't in that one.
Oh, okay.
Jaden
was in. It was called After Earth.
After Earth, yeah. That was not a success.
No, and that's the thing. It just. You think about him in Independence Day. When you think of films.
Yeah.
You do, but then you're also thinking of, Jeff.
Was he an enemy of the state?
Yes, with Gene Hackman.
Yeah, but who carried the film?
Hackman.
Oh, Hackman, definitely.
Men in Black. I
Yeah.
think Men in Black is the closest thing you're going to get.
Yeah,
but
he
even
had
then, if you
Legend.
don't have K,
Yeah.
you don't have a film. Rip Torn. I mean, there were so many good, like, again, that's kind of like Independence Day. Will Smith had a tour de force kind of acting in that, but there was a ton of people who did. And the same thing with Men in Black.
When you have a good ensemble of talented people and you give them everybody something to do that means something to the story, you get a really good, successful film most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to find them. You know, it's hard to find somebody that you could call a bona fide movie star. I think that's. They're all older.
They're all aging out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I do believe that Keanu Reeves can carry a film by himself, but not just an action film.
The right film.
Yeah.
See, and I wanted to sit there and say 6 Degrees of Separation. But, you know, now that, I mean, it's been forever since I've seen the movie.
Well, think about who he's surrounded
by. But everybody, I was looking that up again and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, the first John Wick film.
Andrew Ward.
No one else could do that.
Andrew West is saying, Andrew Ward, is saying Wild Wild West. Dang it.
No.
Well, he's a member, so he's allowed to have his opinion.
No, well, and Kevin Kline was in that with him. Who was the bad guy in that?
He's playing Branagh. Yeah, Branagh.
Yeah. And
that's where the giant spider that was supposed to be in the Superman with Nicolas Cage went.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
and that's all you need to know about why that Superman movie wasn't made.
That was such a weird.
But we got that Superman. It was in the Flash, and it was awesome, wasn't it?
Nicolas Cage as Superman would have been great.
But what about Nicolas Cage as a star that can hold its own?
Before his tax troubles and he had to start making any crap film that came out of there, Gone in 60 Seconds. Gone in 60 Seconds, you need to have that entire cast there with him to make that work.
Yeah.
Moonstruck, Cher.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. Right.
And John Goodman was in that one too. So
yeah. And so what was the one film that you could say Peggy Sue Got Married? He wasn't the lead in that.
Con Air.
But even then, you had
but they
John Malkovich.
Yeah.
All right. You had, and this was before what's his name that was in Grosse Pointe. Cusack went nuts.
Yeah.
Right. Colin Meaney, who was in that, was still doing some good stuff, but I mean, he was a supporter. But I would say Con Air would be the closest thing for Nick Cage, as it was a vehicle for him, and most of the kick-ass stuff was done by him. And Malkovich was, I think, underused as the villain in that. And Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. You know, I think it would be interesting to hear Nicolas Cage voice Brainiac. If they ever did, that in Superman.
We'll get back to that article. I just wanted to grab these real quick. We got Rob Altus has been a member for 2 years. Thank you, Rob. Says, hey, Culture, just got back from watching The Creator. Not bad. I enjoyed it. I have been hearing this, and I have not been able. I've tried like crazy. Look at the poopies. Baby poopers. Uh-oh. There he is.
Junior office dog there.
Senior office dog. I love it. Anyway.
Senior office dog's on the couch.
Oh, okay.
That was Junior.
Junior office dog. Okay, fair enough. So I have not been able to find the time to watch it. I've just been so overwhelmed with creating content and doing live streams that I'm now made aware that Jason is now doing again. So interesting.
We're not back yet.
I don't believe you.
You lying little.
He just went to his image. There you go. Eric came for $5. Thank you, Eric, man. I hope you're doing good, brother. Says, what do you mean Douglas William Bradding does not know all about being Pinhead? I thought he was that. There you go. Oh, thank you, Eric. You're amazing, dude.
By the way, if I could, I saw Keely in the chat want to say happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Kiwi, happy
Kiwi Chow.
birthday.
And the most important part of that is roll tide. Roll tide. But we got
We need a quarterback.
That's right. We got Big Daddy MRI saying hi, culture. Hi, Big Daddy. Thanks for everything you do, my friend. And of course, Eric K again for another $2 says John Wayne was a star. John Wayne was the star of his period of time.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
Indeed.
Mr. Boss is educating me on John Wayne movies.
Oh, really? You've never been a fan, huh?
Well, no. I'm not saying I was never a fan. I just never really sat and.
She's very young.
I've never sat and just watched. So he's been.
Yeah, we just went through. We watched Sons of Katie Elder a couple of days ago. And tonight, was it
Dennis Hopper was so young. Oh my Lord. He didn't even look like him.
Hey, you watch John Wayne in the black and white. From there. Yeah, but the black and white films he did when he was very young. Was it Stagecoach? What was the one called?
Stagecoach was the early.
Yeah. And the black and white one where she was the Quaker and wouldn't let him swear or use guns.
Hey, we've seen that one.
Yeah, but I mean, when you get to A Quiet Man, all right, nobody could do that except Catherine O'Hara and John Wayne.
Yep.
Nobody. What a phenomenal movie, and the cast, and where they filmed it, and everybody getting into it, and all this stuff from there. Yeah.
Fun fact: when I lived in Los Angeles and worked at Starbucks, the Starbucks I was at was considered a neighborhood store, even though it was on Ventura Boulevard. And right up the street, probably no more than 3/4 of a mile or so, was his ranch, his in-town ranch in Encino. And you would drive past it, have the long white wall around it. But yeah, lived right down the street from one of his houses. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, his place in Mexico was amazing. All right, let's grab a couple more. We got a couple more people saying some things here, like we've got Hound Monkey here saying culture has the hardest working hair on YouTube. I think that does work pretty hard. Thank you, Hound Monkey. And Graham is here for $1.99. Says John Wayne Gacy was also a star.
Oh, nice.
Well done. Yeah, he was stellar at eliminating young people. Ladies, but no. Let's see, real quick. We are saying, you know what? Face Off was great with Cage and Travolta, but I guess the argument would be that you had Travolta there. Kiss My Grits says, "Go Dogs." That's right. Kiss My Grits. I love it. We're in
Speaking
college.
of Travolta, we just watched The General's Daughter tonight.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What did you think of Broken Arrow?
One of my wife's favorite films.
I always get accused of having
it.
an unpopular opinion.
I can't remember sitting through and watching the whole thing.
Ooh,
I
wow.
want to say that I've seen it, but I don't remember that I've seen it. I think I'm pretty sure I have.
I haven't enjoyed a Travolta film since Grease.
Because Broken Arrow is Travolta and Christian Slater, right?
Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And DiCaprio does count. He's over 50, I think, isn't he?
His girlfriends aren't.
No, his girlfriends aren't over 25.
Yeah, I admit I just saw a picture of him with the little girl who's going off on climate change, whatever her name is. And they were sitting there saying, "Oh, here's here, Greta, whatever her name."
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, it was a picture of the two of them together, of an actor and Leonardo DiCaprio, or something silly like that. And I sat there, I'm like, she should be careful. She is under 25.
Yes.
He's always targeting ladies in their prime. He really does. And Lorena said something in the chat I've got to find. Lorena said she used to live in Encino, so there you go.
Yeah, I was at the one. What is it? Ventura and Luis.
Oh wow!
So that was my Starbucks.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, back in 2000.
Oh wow! Man, I can't believe Starbucks has been around that long.
They've been around for way too long. It's one of those companies I'm not proud to say I used to work for anymore.
Yeah, I think leaving Vegas is a good claim to fame for Cage, and I don't know that it necessarily required Elizabeth Shue to be in it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Elizabeth Shue, it could have been anybody else.
Yeah, and she just is so believable in most of the roles she plays. So, but I think Lorena also said something else.
Elizabeth Shue should have been a bigger star than she is.
Yes, I agree with that. But she also didn't take all the gigs she should have. And that's a whole other conversation. But I think Lorena said something else, and that is Denzel Washington. Will Smith is nowhere close to Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is an actor's actor. He's one of my very favorites. Yep. And every role he's in, you believe. Pushing 10 was a Cusack film with the guy that
Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob, and that they were in a weird relationship. Then this is when you knew that Angelina Jolie
and Billy Bob were married.
Yeah. It was
their vials of blood.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
All of that's really weird. Channel Source says Maureen O'Hara. Indeed.
Speaking of John Malkovich, has he been in anything recently?
He was recently.
Red and Red 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's somebody.
Something else that he did.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he's a movie star.
But I mean, he's not doing movies anymore because of what he has.
We didn't know why he was doing 1,000 movies there at the end that were not necessarily very good. Now we know why he was doing 1,000 movies at the end that were not very good. And that's a real shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Daddy MRI says James Arness was a movie star.
Yes, he was.
The original thing. Malkovich has been in billions of late. The TV series.
And let me tell you, that is one of those shows on Showtime that I desperately miss because I don't have access to Showtime anymore. So that was so good, especially the first 3 seasons. So very, very good. Oh, you guys are on fire today. Midnight's Edge has just sent a raid over, so say hi, everybody. Greetings, mellow citizens. Greetings, mellow citizens. Hello, raid. Yeah, Peter Graves is probably considered a movie star, I would think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like people that I
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, yes.
I was just talking to my mom about him, and not really him. It was more the fact that now Jason has shown me a couple different Westerns that have no. He was in with the Naked Gun with him. What's his
Dean Martin?
No.
George Kennedy?
George Kennedy.
Yeah, George Kennedy. And I was sitting there, I was telling my mom, I'm like, I've seen more George Kennedy movies lately because we've been watching some of these these Westerns, and he's in there, and he was in the one that we watched the other night. I'm like, my mom's like, oh yeah, he was in this and this. I'm like, yeah, but Mom, you got to remember, I'm thinking of him from The Naked Gun.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up with him.
I suppose we need to watch The Dirty Dozen at some point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was good in that.
Say hi to my little friends. Say hello to my little friends. Hi, Tom. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
We're
Hi,
talking
Tom.
about who could still be considered movie stars, because I know that's one of your favorite subjects. Yeah, we talked about Peter Graves just a moment ago, and Leslie Nielsen, and a few others, but we're trying to figure out if there's anybody under 50 right now that could be considered a movie star, and I don't know.
See, I think Leslie Nielsen could be considered a star twice, because you have you have his romantic drama stuff in his early career, and basically his reinvention in comedy.
All because of Airplane.
Yes, Airplane. Even to this very day, there is not a minute that goes by in that film that I don't at least chuckle or giggle or whatnot. Jason apparently has gone dark. The internet's about to go out, guys.
Yeah, I hit a button.
This is going to be bad.
And Lewis is getting.
I'm going to be the young one in the room. I've seen bits and piece clips, but I have not watched Airplane. Jason.
Oh, you were missing out.
Well, there was a lot of jokes around in that are period jokes from there that you have to from there, but
I don't remember them talking about a woman's period at all in that film.
No, I mean, well, okay. If June Cleaver, you know who June Cleaver is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, she starts talking to two black men in jive. That's funny. Only if you know who June Cleaver is and have seen Leave It to Beaver and all the stuff that they did with all that. Yeah. And then the next thing, you're sitting at the theater, I get your idea of who June Cleaver is. You sit in the movie theater and that happens. You're dying laughing or you're mortified. One of the two, right? Well, almost all the cast were serious actors. Robert Stack, Peter Graves, Leslie Nielsen. And the only one that kind of gives it away is what's his name that played the lead, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being in the film. So it's just all this. I mean, I picked the wrong week with sniffing glue.
Yes.
And if you don't know who June Cleaver is, it's kind of like watching Ahsoka without seeing
without watching all 25 years of the stuff that came before, reading the books and some obscure comic book that Filoni did in the 10th grade. Yes, I fully understand that if you don't know that.
He said that you could get away with watching it and not have to see anything else. Oh, but watch the last season of Rebels.
Hey, Dave Filoni engaged in the J.J. Abrams School of Marketing technique and lied his head off.
And lost street cred.
Hey, culture. Hey, culture.
You fillet me.
Hey, culture. Share this.
Okay. What am I sharing? I can't. There's too much going on. Oh, okay. What do we got? Yay.
Seen a grown man naked?
Joey,
ever hang around the gymnasium? You like movies about gladiators? Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
lead.
What is it?
It's a big building with generals.
With doctors and patients.
That's not important right now.
Have another cup of coffee.
Do you
Never
never
has
has
a
a second cup of coffee at home?
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
I was looking for a certain scene too, but
Not the boobs flying across
Yeah,
the
but
screen.
when Peter Graves is sitting there doing all that you're coming off of him being on Mission Impossible.
I'm sorry I had to wake you. I'm just looking for a doctor. There's
they don't even have half of the great scenes in this.
I think the man sitting next to me is a doctor.
Sir, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
That's right.
We have some passengers.
Yes, of course.
I'm still going to get a claim on this.
Well, most of them are under 8 seconds. It's like been cut to where it doesn't get claimed. It looks like.
That is so.
Then it's
brilliant.
missing, of course, like the line with the little kid and the little boy, or the little girl and little boy, and she's like, "I like my coffee."
Yeah.
They're on instruments.
Eric K. Remember 28 months. Thanks, brother. He says Errol Flynn was the best Robin Hood. Fight me. I will not argue with you,
Nope,
brother.
not fighting you on that one. We'll
No.
watch that movie together.
Yeah, I'll watch it again. I'll go watch it
whenever I'm popping through and it happens. You know what I miss about cable and TV is surfing channels
and finding something,
finding a classic movie like that's on and just stopping and watching. That's what I miss.
I intentionally always scan the channels around like Turner Classic Movies and all of those because I always wanted to just catch one of those older ones.
I think Pluto TV and some like Freebies and stuff are close.
Flex and Tubi, they've got some long stuff, haven't they?
But Hulu's interface is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help.
Well, yeah, that's actually true.
Well, I have to admit, when I got HBO for being with AT&T for free, first thing I did was go through when they had the Turner Classics list, its own separate database that you can go through for movies, looking for good classic stuff that's not bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, my favorite television when I was growing up was what I came home to watch after school, because all of the classic black and white
Donahue.
All the classic black and white shows were in syndication, so I could watch I Love Lucy. I could watch.
Don't let him fool you. That he's talking about first run. He was there when Lucy premiered.
Nick at Night?
No. We're talking like original CBS.
I know.
I'm the same age as Culture, so
Culture is so old that there was only 2 stations when he was a kid.
Culture's so old that the Tonight Show didn't have Johnny Carson on it.
Jack Parr was great.
Jack Parr was great. Tom, you're misleading everyone.
I know.
Because they think you're talking about TV. You're talking about CBS radio before they invented TV.
That's right. Yeah. Don't be mistaken with the television channel.
Don't fall for Tom's fake news.
Corporate broadcasting system.
That brings up something that has been bugging me for a very, 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 very long time, and a bunch of you guys and in the chat might know this.
That why Culture's middle name is Marconi.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I thought it was Annabelle.
When I was in 6th grade, we read a script for a radio play, and I remember that it was supposed to have been produced by the Mercury Theater on the Air, Orson Welles gang.
Mercury Theater on the Air.
CBS Radio.
Yeah.
And I can't find it anywhere. The story was about an alien who came to Earth, and I played the alien when we read it out loud, and everybody loved it. But I can't remember the title of the show, and I've gone through and I've looked through all of the libraries. No, it was
no, I'm kidding.
A couple years before ET.
It might not have been Orson Welles then. It might have been something else.
It might not have been, but it was. But I want to say that it was Mercury Theater on the Air that produced it.
Then you should be able to find a list of that. A pretty because I mean,
I can't find. Visit to a Small Planet. Somebody is saying Visit to a Small Planet. Oh, don't tell me that you guys are just gonna. Fix my problem right there. Let me
please do.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah. Mrs. Boss, please somebody find this out.
This is Orson Welles.
Kiss.
Not that. It's not that.
Kiss My Grits for $5. Hey, what's up, Kiss My Grits? KMG says it's a crime that Hitchcock never won an Oscar. I agree. Psycho and Rear Window are timeless, influential classics. They are.
Yeah.
They are. The Rear Window is one of those ones that you're just like glued to. Just like, that is ridiculous.
Unless you're Mexican Iron Man, then you're jumping out of it.
That's right. Yeah, that would be Broken Rear Window.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh boy. Thank you, KMG. Eric K for another $2 says, what about Leslie Nielsen in the Great Naked Gun series? Oh, this must have been a while ago. Yeah. Leslie
nice
Nielsen.
beaver.
Yeah. No, God.
There was only 22
I just had it
Mercury Theater shows, it looks like here. And none of them look like what you're talking about, so I'm wondering if it's something completely different.
It might have been. I don't know.
I have a family member that has all those radio plays, so I will.
I'm not seeing it because there's only 22 episodes from 1938 to.
I could be remembering wrong. It might not have
1938.
been. It might not have been Mercury, but for some reason my brain connects it.
They only ran for one season, basically. Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge that Six is here because she hasn't said anything.
Hi, Six.
Hi, Six.
I was just enjoying a little snack.
Oh, okay. All right.
Would it be a Milky Way bar?
Oh boy.
Candy
No,
corn.
it's
Millie K-Way bar.
It's a raspberry
It's
fig
coffee
bar.
crisp, isn't it?
No candy.
She's probably in the mood for mounds because she's tired of chewing nuts.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Just saying.
Sometimes you don't.
That was a great line.
I like sucking on.
Almond joys.
I'm
Ooh.
sucking on nuts. Very good. Okay. Well, fuck you anyway. My goodness. Will Shatner is a movie star.
You're goddamn right. I
TV
am.
star.
Don't you say that shit.
He's just a star. He doesn't have to have a category.
I am a
He's
superstar. Thank
He
you very
did
much.
carry Airplane too.
Priceline.com.
That
I want
he
all
was
these lights to flash in sequence.
bad guy with the Girl Scout cookies.
That would be
Was that Men at Work? No,
Loaded Weapon 1?
maybe.
No.
Hot Shots. Hot Shots.
Hot Shots, one of those
Part
kind
two?
of movies.
No, I don't think it was Hot.
I don't remember all the movies I've done. I've done so many films.
Kathy Ireland was in the movie with him.
That would probably
Necessary
be
Roughness.
Loaded Weapon 1.
Necessary Roughness. Shatner wasn't in that one. I was actually on campus when they shot that one.
By the way,
They shot that on the campus
You know
of my
what?
college, University of North Texas.
it's the only movie role I can stand Sinbad in.
True.
He does a good job at it.
That was Loaded Weapon.
It was Loaded Weapon 1.
I fucking told you that. Nobody listens.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm-
Necessary Roughness. Necessary Roughness is a fun movie.
You have Bill Shatner sitting right here, and you just ignore me.
Culture's
Priceline.com.
family-friendly stream. Taking a dive.
Oh, this is family friendly? I'm sorry. I'm acting like a stupid cunt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Curtis D of Montana is here. I hope he is healing up well. He says Forbidden Planet. Great Nielsen.
Excellent movie.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Good.
And Francis.
Chris, okay, so Brahma Bull thinks that Chris Pratt, Henry Cavill, and Ryan Reynolds are movie stars.
Henry Cavill hasn't been proven.
Brahma.
Ryan
today's
Reynolds, I'd say,
standards,
would
maybe.
be the only thing.
Ryan Reynolds would be, well, Ryan Reynolds and Chris Pratt, both. They may not draw in the way that we used to look at a movie star drawing, but
Well,
they
do
do
they
have the
carry-
star power.
Do they carry the film though? Wait, what film has Chris Pratt carried?
I'm trying to think of Chris Pratt films that aren't Marvel.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Pratt
those
hasn't
Jurassic
really
World
done much
stuff.
outside of, Passengers and Guardians of the
Passengers.
Galaxy. I mean, he's been a TV
Yeah.
guy for a while.
Jurassic Park, I guess.
Oh yeah,
He's the
Jurassic
only
World.
He's one of the only
Jurassic
newer
World,
guys
sorry,
though that we
Jurassic
can,
World.
even though he's been around for a while, but he's had the traditional route to becoming a movie star. So I'll give him that, and he's been in plenty of films and proves that for the most
He's
part,
been in
people
some- Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just say people will go see his films usually, as
Yeah.
opposed to like Henry Cavill. He has yet to have a film that is built upon his star power alone, and I think the closest we're going to get to that is what Argyle or whatever coming out here.
Yeah.
Argyle kind of looks fun.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It looks like something I might maybe get out of
I
the
think
house.
Because you can't count a superhero movie on that shit.
Yeah. I think Taron Egerton might have had that opportunity. Because
Yeah.
you look at the films he's been in. So
Kind of.
Kingsman was that.
It was great.
Breakout.
Kind of. There was other people there, which was a breakout because it was his first movie ever.
Mhm.
And then Eddie the Eagle. Well, no, you can't even say that because it was really Hugh Jackman.
The Rock is one you could make an argument for, but the problem with The Rock is what I always point out.
He's The Rock.
Well,
That's
his only films that have made any money have been ensemble pictures. If you look, if you look at his other movies, he's never had a hit outside of
He's Will
Skyscraper
Smith
and
as a
the
wrestler.
earthquake one, San Andreas.
Yeah. He's
Well,
Will
and I
Smith as a
remember
wrestler.
his first movie that I saw him in. The
Rundown?
No.
Good
He
film.
was John Travolta when they made the
Oh, Be
sequel.
Cool.
Yes, because he was the
Gay guy in it. Yeah.
gay guy in there. Because it was like,
He's kind of
oh
funny
my
in
gosh,
it.
it's
Yeah.
The Rock.
The Rock's breakout role was on Star Trek Voyager, where he played an alien space
You
wrestler.
fucking nerd.
Yeah. I remember.
Well-
Well, okay, and I was watching professional wrestling at that time.
Okay, I still
I
So-
was gonna say.
We
He also
saw
played his
all
dad
that.
in that 70s show.
See, Cavill needs a movie like Christopher Reeve got with Jane Seymour, Time After Time. Or
No,
whatever that movie was. What was that
time.
called?
Oh, now you've
Somewhere in Time.
Yes.
Cavill
Oh,
needs
that-
a movie like that.
Oh man,
Well,
now
that flopped for Christopher Reeve, though, didn't it?
you just added a
It's
sixth
got a
film.
cult following.
But
No.
the cult build up on it.
You just added a sixth film to my my worst horror films.
Time After Time,
Somewhere in Time.
or Somewhere in Time. I mean,
Somewhere in Time.
So, Culture,
That's the
what
Cyndi
is your
Lauper song.
favorite time travel film?
Showgirls.
The Notebook.
Star Trek 4.
Because he can
That
only
is the
watch it
only
in
answer to
5-minute
that.
increments at a time.
There it is.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah. So
Good night,
Culture
Lorena.
limps through that movie every time.
Lorena's the best.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what you guys were talking about when I come in here. I just
Movie
totally
stars.
derailed
Movie
everything.
stars.
Tom's like a
Movie
chunk of
stars under
phosphorus
50.
being thrown in water.
Yeah, it
Ti-
is.
okay, so Peter Venkman says Tim Curry. Yes.
He's just
Yeah.
a sweet transvestite.
Oh yeah.
I thought you guys said under 50.
Why don't you come up to the
Yeah, under
lab?
50.
No, we did, but
Let's see what's on the slab
That's the problem.
Culture
is that
lost
I can
this
see
stream
you
when I
shiver.
got here.
with anticipation.
Culture lost the stream when he hit go live. I mean, just like
But
all-
maybe the rain.
Okay, for those that,
really the
okay, for the
blame.
actors that are out there that are under 50, is it their fault that they
No.
can't get to it, or is it the stuff that we're getting for them?
Great
to
question.
do?
Great
wait.
question. I think the answer is simple. Superhero movies are the problem.
You're well, and who said that? This famous like short little
Quentin
director?
Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Tom Connors.
Oh, that last guy?
All in the same
Total
fucking
gay.
league right there too.
Total
you know?
flamer. Yeah.
Yes, he's a bit gay on that
He's
side.
a bit his life
Not
has
as
gone to
gay
the
as
dog.
John Waters, but
Can
close.
Can I just revisit one thing, and that is you were talking about Taron Egerton, and I still think his performance in Rocket Man was good.
Yes.
And
I
so-
think Rocket Man was
His
going to get to
performance
that. I
was
think he
good,
could
but we
carry
all
that.
know that basically Elton John cast what he wants to fuck and not what he really looked like. Because we all know for a fucking fact, not once in his entire life was Elton John as sexy as Taron Egerton. Not once. That dude was always fugly looking. That was the whole fucking point. He didn't think he could ever make it as a superstar because he was going bald by the time he was 22. Right?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Wait a minute here.
Motherfucking nothing is wrong with that, Brahma. Not a goddamn thing. But my point is if you're going to cast somebody realistic in the role, it ain't Taron Egerton. Don't get me wrong. I think he did great in the role. But that being said, like totally miscast for it. Not the right role. Not the right person to be playing Elton John. But he did fine.
Idealized casting instead. of
Exactly. It's more like who he wanted to fuck more so.
Well, here's an
Don't
interesting.
forget, Elton John was also going to cast Justin Timberlake in that movie for years. Look it up if you don't believe me. It's freaking true.
Now the thing is, though, in the one video, music video where he does play him,
And that's where
It
that stems
works.
from. Yeah.
it works.
Because he's like, he did such a good job. I think he should play me as a young gentleman.
I think
I do
Rocky-
the worst, like Elton John right there. But yeah.
I think the what do you want to call it? The documentary drama thing that was on HBO about Liberace was very interesting. And
with Michael Douglas and or not, yeah, or not Michael Douglas. Was it Michael Douglas? Yeah, and Matt Damon.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
The candelabra thingy.
Yeah, that's what it was. Very interesting.
But throat cancer.
I'm waiting for what Culture's leading up to here because he's talked about two very gay movies. So what is he about to say that's
Well,
going
you
to
have
go
to
against
stop
that?
talking and let him finish.
The one about Queen, Freddie Mercury.
First thing Six says on the entire show, and it's to eviscerate Tom.
Yeah, it was really fun.
No, she was talking about candy earlier.
She does that to me all the time.
I'm kind of basking in it right now. But KMG says, notice how Jennifer Lawrence's career nosedived once Harvey Weinstein was locked up. You don't say. You don't.
Well, she also couldn't
Daddy
get
Weinstein?
out to get knee pads anymore.
What were you going to say, the culture? Why
She
are you
opened her
praising
mouth.
these gay movies?
There you go.
No, I'm just
You get a courtesy rim shot.
I was trying to lead into the idea that
All movie stars are gay?
no, that you have to be able to take multiple kinds of roles to be able to
You got to take some pole once in a while to be a movie star. Is that what you're
What I
saying?
was thinking too.
So culture. Ryan Reynolds fits that bill.
Exactly. And I think it's possible that he might be confused for a movie star.
You know, he's also doing that show Welcome to Wrexham, where he and McElhaney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia have bought this English football club, and they are trying to revitalize this town and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that movie stars kind of transcend into doing. So he's also doing reality TV, right? So he's on television.
An awful lot of Welsh people there.
I will disagree a little bit with culture on Ryan Reynolds. I think Ryan Reynolds,
wrong
I
with
think
Welsh people.
Deadpool was a success because of Ryan Reynolds. I think he's one of the last ones you can make an argument for that does elevate a project when you say, oh, Ryan Reynolds is in it.
I
don't think anybody else but Ryan Reynolds could have done Deadpool.
Oh, absolutely. And, and I say that because his advertising of that film, him putting himself out there the way he did.
Yeah.
Because
Even the
most
test
of the
footage,
general
yeah.
audience didn't know who Deadpool was.
Well, okay. So let me say this. I have been a Ryan Reynolds fan forever. I think he did an amazing National Lampoon film.
Van Wilder, one of my favorite.
Van Wilder is one of the greatest movies ever.
Never be duplicated. And the problem is, and I've seen him in romantic comedies and everything else, he's always playing Ryan Reynolds.
No, not in Buried. He does a whole movie by himself in a box.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
It's the one where he
That
gets
being
buried
said,
alive.
I'm going to say,
That's the one that separates him.
buried aside, culture's making my fucking point, because what makes a movie star? A movie star is somebody you just insert that person into a story that fits their character.
Yep.
Right? That's what movie stars used to be. They had vehicles, right? You had Clint Eastwood movies. You had Burt Reynolds movies.
John Wayne
movies.
John Wayne always played John Wayne.
Kevin Costner movies.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of names. All right, Sidney Powell and Myrna Loy. The Thin Man movie.
Thin Man.
They made a ton of money in the 30s and 40s off of those two, right? They made so much money off of them. And that was part of the mutual broadcasting system, right? Because they both worked for different studios. Same thing with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce doing the Sherlock Holmes film. People forget they made more money off the radio shows that they did at the time than they did the movies, and they made a ton of money off those movies. But Myrna Loy and Sidney Powell were so in demand that when the first Thin Man got made, it took them 4 years to do the second one because they were off doing other films for their home studio. Right. But Sidney Powell played Sidney Powell, but he also played some other roles. You have to look at someone like Basil Rathbone as someone who did traditional Shakespeare and could do multiple roles. He was in Robin Hood, right? As Guy Brisbane, a guy, whatever the guy's name was. I can't remember. Sorry. I need to go to bed. And then he was also in several horror films. He's one of the classic horror film titans, Basil Rathbone. And he was also in, now my memory's failing. But there's multiple films where he is a actor that helped that ensemble. Errol Flynn, that was one of them, and then I can't remember the other movie he was in. With Danny Kaye. It was in Danny Kaye film, and called A Jester in King Arthur's Court, or whichever one.
Connecticut in King Arthur's.
King
Arthur's Court, I think is what it was, right? And
Yankee in King Arthur's Court. That was it.
Yeah, so he could play multiple.
Did Danny Kaye do that one? I thought Bing Crosby.
That
Bing
was
Crosby,
Bing Crosby, wasn't
It
it?
was Bing
Yeah.
Crosby, but he did one with Danny Kaye.
Danny Kaye did I think he did a jester title something that's similar to
Yeah,
that.
it's just something similar to that. But yeah, those are the kind of people that you would see. Those were movie stars, and you wouldn't think of Sidney Powell and Myrna Loy, but they were huge draws.
William Powell.
William Powell. I'm so sorry. William Powell.
Yeah, and real quick, Tipping Orc just gifted 5 Culture Casino memberships. Congratulations to the 5 people who made it. I appreciate it.
You're keeping Culture Casino in brushes.
You are. Look, this brush is wearing out. I need a new brush. You know, if you like to watch me brush my hair during the stream.
Nick still has that brush from Dallas.
Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby were in White Christmas together, but I can't think of any other films.
You know, I used to have a horse. I still have my tack.
They may have
box
been.
I could send you.
This is amazing. You realize
Something
we
that
have
might
the
work.
smartest audience on the planet. The court jester.
Court jester. Thank you.
Court
Yeah.
jester. Look at him go.
I think I
Danny
wanna
Kaye,
say-
what a tremendous talent.
I want to say that Huey Lewis did I Want a New Brush.
Oh, David.
What a new
David
weave.
Nevin. Fantastic. Yeah.
He did Walking on a Weave line.
Yeah, what a new weave.
I Want a New Weave.
The power of weave.
I have to
Do
say,
you believe in weave?
In all seriousness, Huey Lewis's most recent album is excellent.
Oh, damn the
He's a-
deafness. I'm doing this anyway.
he's a-
Yes.
Tremendous musician.
It is an incredible.
And what did his dad tell him?
it
Son,
brings-
play that harmonica.
It brings a tear to my eye every time I listen to it because of what he's been going through.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff, because he's got some message songs on there. He's like, I'm not out of this yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, it's like watching Rocky Balboa when he does that speech in the last film when he's doing the speech in front of the boxing commission. He's like, I'm perfectly fine. I want to do this. You keep telling me that I'm too old. Who are you to say that I'm too old? I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
And you know, we get to the point where it's like people are going to tell us we can't do something because we're too old or too this or that or whatever. And the older I get, the more I sympathize with these people sitting there going, well, who are you to tell me I can't do this?
Well, I usually am self-limiting because I usually break something, but that's a whole other conversation. KMG, this is a good question. I like it. Question for the panel. Is there a Hollywood actress today that matches the beauty and star power of Grace Kelly?
No.
Probably not, but Anna de Armas is making a play for it.
Yeah.
Now, which one is she?
She's in a lot lately.
Sandra Bullock could
Maybe
have been. Anne Hathaway, maybe.
Sandra
but I don't-
Bullock is
they don't have the star
No,
power.
Sandra Bullock's out on that because she was married to Jesse James. No, seriously. When you're talking about Grace Kelly, when you're talking about this kind of stuff and that kind of
Princess
level,
Grace.
she's a literal princess that
Yeah.
died
Hmm.
in an auto accident, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
none of these people. What are you going to say, Meghan Markle?
Oh God, no.
I mean, really?
I can't think of
What
any.
about Jennifer Connelly?
Maybe, but
Salma
she
Hayek?
was not nearly the
I don't
star
think-
Grace Kelly was.
I don't think
part
Connolly
of the
or
beauty and star power that Grace Kelly had was the lack of paparazzi following her every mood, taking pictures of her on bad days, finding out every little thing that
Mhm.
she's ever done that wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
something that people today are not
can't,
because of the desire to relate to stars and to bring them down to the level of the everyday moviegoer. They've taken away that mystique.
Well, look, Rock
Well,
Hudson was able to hide who he was. So did Raymond Burr, and many others were able to hide who they were.
Well, it's like we're
I mean,
She
the
was
point
accepted.
now, though. The
Yeah,
point
it's
now
like
is
we-
there's too much social media to be able to hide anything,
And
at
they
this
can't
point.
shut up.
So
Well, and
Rachel
and
Zegler.
especially post pandemic, they're all, in their homes doing their videos, their TikToks or their Instagrams or whatever,
like
giving you
Nintendo.
whole slice of life crap. I was like, I don't need to see you doing yoga. I don't need to see you trimming your
I don't know.
toenails.
Katie
These are just
Sackhoff, I
stuff.
thought hers were pretty based, but
Well, but think of it this way. Back then, because there was no internet or anything like that, if someone caught a picture of Rock Hudson in a questionable situation, it's not like they were just turning around with their phone and posting it all over the internet. They had to go somewhere, get the film developed, and get it put onto something and then out into the world. And
find
by
somebody
then,
that would do it.
and then
Well,
by
yeah, the
then,
media-
there would probably have had executives and his management group and whatever sit there and be able to come up with some spin on it. Nowadays,
Exactly.
it's like, oh, here is, what what's her name?
Same
Kelly
sex, like,
Clarkson
same boy.
on the corner of Vegas Boulevard singing with someone, and we're going to post this right now.
Well, the other thing too is the trade publications, the deadlines and the Hollywood Reporters and all of that of the time, they wouldn't just run willy-nilly. I mean, you see it now. Those are essentially extensions of the publicity and public relations firms that the studios use. They're not objective media, they're narrative media.
Mhm.
And if you have a photo of Rock Hudson in a compromising position, then the studio that has Rock Hudson under contract is calling the newspaper that has it, calling the LA Times, and says, "You run that, we run you out of town."
Yeah, there was no upside for anyone to expose them in those days.
Yeah.
There was no upside.
And now we have TMZ
Exactly.
and online entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which the stars have on speed dial because, hey, I'm going to show up here and I'm going to donate money to a homeless person. Make sure you're there to cop a picture for me.
Well, the studios were also, telling actors who they were going to date, who they were going to marry, when they were going to break up. It was all manufactured back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
it
it'd be
was
very
an
hard
image.
for somebody to match it now.
You know what? Hollywood was supposed to sell an image. The reason, so my mother had a very bad childhood. All right. I'm not going to get into it. It's a heartbreaking story. It really is. Okay. And how she and my grandmother escaped was going to the movies. And they went to the movies and they escaped. And you had these people that their life is perfect. They had the movie star life, they had all that stuff. That was all hope that was given to people that, my life sucks and the depression and the Dust Bowl and all this stuff. And movies gave them hope. Gone with the Wind gave them hope of a grandeur of a time that really didn't happen. But it was, it was fantasy.
Yeah.
And they knew it was fantasy because when they walked out of that movie theater, they were slapped in the face with reality all the time. Right? Now, you got people on their phones playing video games all freaking day. All right. Or on watching this all day or doing all that. That they think it is reality because to them, that is all they have. That is their reality. When they go outside, that's the fantasy to them, the reality. So it's all been swept around. So yes, now we know who these people are because they've inserted themselves in this. You didn't really have a whole lot of people inserting themselves into politics until they actually ran for something, right? Like Ronald Reagan. Right? And when he came up and did that stuff. So now they just want to tell you how to live your life. You're like, F off. That's not what you're there for. You're there to make me forget about my life. I don't want to hear Mark Ruffalo. I could give a rat's ass what he thinks about anything. Why? Because he's not living paycheck to paycheck. He's not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. He's at his age, the paychecks he got out of the MCU, if he didn't invest part of those, he's stupid. And he deserves to be on whatever welfare check he gets in older life. Because if you're given $10 million and you blow it, right? That's why they have all of these professional basketball, football players, hockey players, all that stuff now have to go through financial counseling. Part of what they did with their contracts, their rookie contracts, is they have to have a certain amount of it invested, and blah, 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 and things like that. Because $200 a month from 20 to 30 is going to net you more when you retire at 65 than $2,000 a month from 30 till 65.
Right.
So if he did it right, he doesn't have to worry about it. Now, there are some that's not the case. You look at the other actors on what was the one I looked up was Umbrella Academy. All right. Umbrella Academy. They were making their net worth was like $2 million, each of those actors and that stuff and things from there. But that's one part. That's not a make or break part. That's not like Ruffalo, who has had all this money coming from the MCU and appearances and residuals and all those things they work into the contract. Hey, Chris Evans, who gives a shit what he thinks? Brie Larson, you're not one of me. You're not really part of the American society anymore. You're one of the elite. And yeah, I don't give a crap what they think. And then when they come out and say something, that's it. I'm not going to watch another. Mark Ruffalo was in 13 Going on 30. I thought it was a cute film. I don't watch it anymore. One of Mrs. Flu's favorites. I'm not watching it. Why? Because he's a dick.
I love the Now You See Me movies.
Yeah, loved them. You know what?
But he's a dick.
Can't do it anymore.
It's that's the other thing. Can you be a star if people can't separate your art from your mouth? Or they're not willing to?
I think Chris Pratt's doing it because what Chris Pratt is doing is saying, okay, I don't care, and going on.
Yeah.
No.
He's not giving them he's not giving them any air.
Well, it's interesting what you were talking about, toxic. How with your mother, the escape. And it reminds me, one of the things when I was back in college, we studied movie-wise was Pleasantville, because you jump into the, where the two of them make, their decision. Do we go back to the real world, or do we live in this other world where you actually have a chance because life back there sucks so much? Or life here sucks and I need to go fix things. But the question that was just asked, now my brain just...
About Grace Kelly, any actress? Different thing?
The one that just came up that Culture was about to...
Oh, about Chris Pratt. If can anybody be a movie star now
and separate?
Can people separate that stuff out?
I think it depends, because you have people that are like the little Snow White girl who can't keep her mouth shut about how much she hates whatever. But then you have Chris Pratt, who has no problem going out there and saying, hi, by the way, I'm a Christian and I'm going to be in that next Marvel movie, by the way, and still get away with it because and maybe again it comes down to the role.
He doesn't bring him up. He doesn't bring it up.
He doesn't bring it up. Other people will. I mean, he's not as outspoken.
And that's the difference. Well,
he has during awards speeches.
He has, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those. If it's part of the conversation, it's part of the conversation. I'm not going to sit there and throw it in your face. And I think it really comes down to. I mean, there are some that I won't have anything to do with, because I'm just like you talk about Mark Ruffalo. I used to follow him on social media and it's just like, shut up already. I don't care.
George Takei. I am all over George Takei being able to live his life the way that he wants to. Here's the problem is Chris Pratt doesn't throw it in my face.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. George Takei, Mark Ruffalo, Brie Larson, Greta Thunberg, whoever these people are. They throw it in my face and tell me that I'm bad because I'm not doing this. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio telling me I need to give up my freaking gas stove while he's flying all over the place in his private jet, banging 25-year-olds. Screw off, old man. I'm tired of this. Gilbert Grape's done. You peaked at Blood Diamond. F off.
Well, it's like something I read today. We all make fun of the Kardashians, and Kylie Jenner put something up over some conflict thing that's going on that I agreed with. But, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I've never really paid too much attention to you, but you and I see a little eye to eye on this. And then she took it down because of, the culture, cancel culture. But I was like, okay, I have some respect now for, I've seen other things, whatever, but I like that. Maybe I'll listen and see if you have anything else smart that comes out of your mouth. But I think it really.
And I know we're not going to be talking about it, but we're starting to see a lot of blowback for some of the actors that are taking to social media, offering support for one particular group as opposed to another particular group. And how dare you support that particular group because you're supposed to be supporting this other particular group. The knives are out, the claws are out, and it's going to be ugly on social media for the next few days.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. So can we separate them out? Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to.
No.
They're going to you have to do this to be there. But Kelsey Grammer told him to screw off, right? Nick Searcy tells him to screw off.
Yeah.
James Woods.
Gina
big
Carano.
Flying finger, right?
But
the comedian that
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider
tells them all where to go.
Well,
right?
and I've been following Isaiah Washington now.
Oh yeah, the
Because
disruptor.
He is. I mean, and when he liked something I posted, I was like, oh. But
And he got canceled 20 years ago?
Whenever,
whenever he came out of
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
Yeah, he got kicked off of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. Has
Well,
it
they
been that
kicked
long?
off McDreamy, whichever one the one it was, Patrick Dempsey. They kicked him off of Grey's Anatomy because he cheated on his wife. So I'm sorry. When a woman's in charge of something, vindictive decisions will be made at some point. And that's what I have a problem with. There was an article that we went over a couple of months ago, and a woman had hired nothing but women. And her company failed inside of 6 months.
Yeah.
Because everybody was backstabbing each other. Right. And I'm like, that's why there has to be a balance. And what we don't have in Hollywood, because of this whole Me Too movement, is a balance. Now, Harvey Weinstein is an evil man that deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life and paying restitution for what he did to those people. But he didn't just do it to women. Listen to what Terry Crews went through to be where he is. And he's not alone. You listen to the two Coreys before the one killed himself.
Yeah.
And what they did. These child actors may not have been nutso because they couldn't handle the fame. They could be nutso because of what was done to them. Right.
Well, I think it's
more likely. Yeah.
I think it's telling.
And Harvey is likely not the only one.
No.
Well, I think it's telling that there are certain stars that get very far away from Hollywood as quickly as they possibly can, and
that's why I have a lot of respect for the kid playing Spider-Man,
Tom Holland.
I think that's where you were going.
Yep. Yeah, and he's
not exactly a kid, though, is he?
Well, no, but he was a young
relative to the panel.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, he moved very far away from Hollywood as soon as he possibly could because he saw what happens there. Mark Wahlberg never want to do that. He wanted to do music first and foremost, but that's an entirely other conversation. The guy is incredibly based, and I did, a feature on him, not that long ago.
Well, and recently Matt Damon has talked about the fact he's out in Las Vegas with him and his family. You've got Matthew McConaughey down in Texas. Chris Evans is back in Massachusetts now. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton are in this little Potoc town outside of, if you go to Ardmore, Oklahoma, and then just start heading east, they're in the middle of nowhere out there.
Yeah, but they have a giant freaking ranch out there.
I know, jealous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Christensen
seeing.
bought a farm.
Who?
Yeah. Hayden Christensen bought a farm.
I mean, they get it.
So
how
did
many
Jeremy
people
Clarkson.
have moved up to Montana?
Yeah,
Is
Harrison
another
Ford's
popular
up there.
one. I was reading Brian Austin Green. He's up in North
Who
Dakota. I
really
believe
wanted to
now.
be Green Lantern. And I think they would have done better if they had cast him than Ryan Reynolds. Because he would have made it more like a comic book. He was a huge fan of the comic book. I don't think there's any problem with bringing someone in like that loves a comic book to come in there and help it. do
I
that.
wonder if
The Witcher would still be on if they had done that.
the big thing about about Green Lantern. I always thought that Ryan Reynolds was too young. In
was too
addition to the
goofy.
movie being crap, Ryan Reynolds was too young to play that particular Hal Jordan. Because Hal Jordan, when he gets picked to be Green Lantern, is already, mid to late 30s. And still trying to figure his life out, test pilot and all of that. And they retconned in the drunk driving and whatnot. But Hal Jordan has always been the older one. And Reynolds was just too young for me. And I think Brian Austin Green would have been too young too.
To be Hal Jordan. I think you're right. They needed to do a different one.
Yeah, they both would have been in their 30s, I believe, at that point.
And
like
it would have been
very
perfect
early
for Kyle
30s.
Rayner. Would have been great for Kyle Rayner. And
you're right.
I'm sitting here when they announced that Nathan Fillion is going to play Guy Gardner. I'm like, what?
Huh? Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, he looks good in the show The Rookie.
Yeah. I mean, he's Hal Jordan.
Yes, he is Hal Jordan.
He's played Hal Jordan.
And
But when
Fillion's
they
great
sit there
in
and say
everything he's
gonna
ever
be
been
Guy
in.
Gardner, like he doesn't look a thing like Guy Gardner. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
It-
Nathan
it's
Fillion's
more-
another one. He's paying somebody in The Rookie that's different than who he played in Castle. That's different than who he played in
Firefly.
Firefly. And yeah, he's been good in everything that he's done. But he just hasn't had the vehicles that others have had to see if he could be that kind of movie star. So,
See, and there was a lot of
No, but he's
speculation.
chosen to be a great TV star.
Right.
When was it WandaVision? The posters for Wonder Man, and he had his little cameo as Wonder Man, and there was a lot of speculation that maybe he would end up playing Wonder Man if they ever did it. And then there was a Wonder Man thing that was announced, and he's going to be black. I was like, Wonder Man's not black. Simon Williams, you already had Nathan Fillion as Simon Williams in, just an appearance and a poster on the wall, but everybody looked at it and went, he'd be perfect for Simon Williams. Yes, I want this casting. Let's do it. And nobody listened.
Yep. Well, and okay. I mean, you're never going to be able to outguess what Hollywood's going to do, whether it's stupid or whether it's great.
Yeah.
All right. And in the end, I don't care the race, creed, or color of the person that is entertaining me, as long as I'm entertained. One of the greatest entertainers of all time, my opinion, is Sammy Davis Jr. He could play every single instrument there is out there. He could dance. He could make fun. He could do dramatic roles, all with one eye, right? And all that stuff in there. Didn't matter. Whatever he was in, whatever he was cast in, he made that role his own. And that's what actors used to do, make the role their own. Errol Flynn as Robin Hood made that his role, right? John Wayne in the movies he was in. You look at The Quiet Man, that was his role. And so what if the movie comes together that's been written for a certain actor and a certain actress and a certain cast of characters, and it's made some different changes in the book, as long as it works. And we're talking about movies that work, which maybe be 10-15% of movies that have ever been made truly work. John Wick. Nothing about that film to me is a problem. The first one. What a great film, beginning to end. They've made some films after that were really good, but he got old to do that kind of role, right? But still, that first John Wick film, lightning in a bottle. What an amazing set of films. Independence Day, lightning in a bottle. Star Wars, huge lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Right? And everything that came together for that to happen. And Tom's has gone into in depth on his channel about what everything had to happen with George Lucas and everything for that to be made. Right? But that's just a small percentage of the film. And then the rest of them are quirks that we as individuals can enjoy. Culture and I went back and forth about some movies on Twitter earlier today, saying about what movie brings us joy. And of course, he did jiggly boobies and showgirls. I did Out Cold.
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis and Jason London and just a stupid, idiotic, snowboarding comedy. But it makes me laugh to see Lee Majors get turned over upside down in an outhouse. Just hilarious for me. Those are where we as individuals come into play. Some of those hit for us, some of us don't. Like I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man. Some people think it's the greatest thing in the world. Most people, I guess. But some of us just don't hit that. Right? Very rare is there a film that all of us hit and enjoy. So.
But Hollywood has to get back to making those not blockbuster movies that are just good movies that aren't anything that's trying to be world changing or build up a whole nother universe of movies after it, or even have sequels. I mean, we used to have movies that did not have sequels.
Well, and I've seen some chatter, some different people talking. There's been some articles, and I can't remember where I saw this, but the showrunners now, the people are saying, well, now I have to worry more about how much this is costing when it comes to your writer staff. What they're becoming more budget conscious because there's a bunch of new things that people are going to have to deal with. And I'm thinking, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're working with a smaller budget, if you're working with more limitations on what you got to do resource wise, then maybe you don't make every single movie a $250 million movie. Maybe you do get, the studio, because the studios still have a limited amount of money that they're going to spend every year on films. Break it up. And instead of the $250 million movie, this is a point I made on the stream last Thursday. You make 5 $50 million movies, and don't that's what you do. You gotta start managing your resources a little bit better. So.
Tox is playing with the song again.
I guess.
What am I doing? I'm not doing anything.
There's music playing.
We hit the music button.
I hit a music button somewhere.
You did.
I thought it was Culture leading into the outro of the show. He was just mellowing. He was mellowing down easy.
That's 3 hours from now.
That was joining a group activity streaming cut.
That's what it was. Yeah.
You played that.
I did not. I can't.
I did not. I am over here doing something on the Beach Punk site.
Oh, you know what? Grant's in the back hiding, so it might have been him. So
no.
Oh, Grant's kid came up.
What Jason was saying. I mean, if you sit there and you cut it down, instead of making a $250 million movie, making a $50 million movie, you have to be more creative with what it is. And I mean, yeah, you can sit there and you can write put out a movie, keep you entertained, but at the same time, is this something we've seen before? And can they go outside the box? Can they be creative? Can they take a risk? And again, leave the idea of turning it into a franchise or a sequel or something. Just give us something that's really off the wall, but good. And, use your brain, work around the fact that you have, like the rest of us normal people, I've got $100 in my bank account. How can I make the most of it for the next 2 weeks? Yeah. But have all that and leave what happens afterward. It's going to happen regardless of whatever, but we're going to stop here. That's where it's going to end. And I don't think Hollywood's capable of that, period.
Yeah, where are our movies like The Usual Suspects or The Untouchables or Varsity Blues or The Replacements or Any Given Sunday? Just one-off movies that told a concise story that didn't have to be 250 million. You didn't have to have all the effects, and they were just great, fun films.
I have an answer for that, and so does Tom. They're on streaming.
And that's a problem because the thing is that there's a movie that's coming out that I would love to see. Oh, but I don't have that. I mean, it's like when they announced doing the Weird Al movie.
Yeah,
Weird.
that was a weird. That's a weird movie. Look, real
It
quick.
was good.
Yeah, it was weird. It was
Nikki
good,
D,
but weird.
Nikki D for $5. I wanted to get to this. My pick for live action Hal Jordan would be Glenn Powell, who played Hangman in Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
That would be great. He's a good looking guy.
He could do either Hal or Guy. He's one of the few because his hair is light enough. You could tint it a little bit red, and he could do that because Hangman is essentially kind of like Guy Gardner. He's full of himself,
Right.
and he's all bluster and whatnot. So he could do either one of them, I think.
Yeah, and you know what, Fort Critical over on Odyssey mentioned, and thank you, Nikki D, for that $5 super chat. Fort Critical over on Odyssey said that have Ryan Reynolds replay Green Lantern, but with more practical effects instead of CGI. And I've been saying that forever. I was like, it was the CGI that made that film bad. I don't think it was necessarily Ryan Reynolds.
Partly.
Real quick, I have something I want to share with you guys, if you'll permit me. I did.
It is your show. You could take control at any time.
I won't allow it on your own show.
I just, you know me,
Actually, I could end the stream now.
Let's go back to combing your hair.
End you.
You know, the ladies like it when I brush my hair. So
only when you're nude.
You gotta be like, what's his name from the Head and Shoulders, the football player. What's his name? Just
Palomalu.
yes.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu.
Or do some flips, and go for the Farrah Fawcett look. Mr. Boss.
I certainly could do that, but here's that's not where I want to put that. Here's something I want to share with you because it's something that Gary has now shared with the world.
Gary who?
Nerd
That guy?
Did you go and have dinner with him in Dallas or Fort Worth at some point? San Antonio?
I may have had dinner with Gary. I may have had dinner with Gary a few times now, but
I've had breakfast with him, so
it's fine. Yeah, we're gonna share this real quick. I don't know why you do that.
I didn't do anything. What did I do?
Are you sure? All right. Apparently, a chat GPT apology from Amazon to the Fellowship. Hashtag Rings of Power. Dear Nerdrotic and the Fellowship Tolkien enthusiasts, at Amazon, we always strive to create content that both honors the original material and resonates with a diverse audience. With the launch of the Rings of Power, we aim to bring J.R.R. Tolkien's expensive and intricate Middle-earth to life for a new generation. However, we realize now there were missteps in our approach, and we deeply apologize for any harm we may have caused the community. We recognize and regret that our initial reaction to criticisms and feedback was both defensive and dismissive, particularly in the way we labeled concerned fans as racist. This was an oversight, and we understand that fans like you come from a place of deep passion and respect for Tolkien's world. Labeling fans and critics in such a manner is contrary to the values we hold dear, and we sincerely apologize to Nerdrotic, the Fellowship, and all the dedicated fans of Middle-earth. Every fan, no matter their perspective, should feel heard and respected. Going forward, we promise to approach fan feedback with an open heart and a willingness to learn. We understand the importance of maintaining the integrity of the original work while innovating in ways that we are both.
Is this real or is this a joke?
I'm sure it's fake. Yeah.
He says it's a chat GPT apology for Amazon.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what the fuck?
Yeah. We hope that over time we can regain your trust and continue to be a source of quality entertainment. Once again, we apologize and thank you for your continued passion and dedication to the world of Middle-earth. Warm regards, the Amazon Studios team.
Now do Wheel of Time.
Actually, that would be a shorter one, Bram. I would just say, Wheel of Time is such shit. We're sorry, we can't apologize for it. It's just so bad.
It's terrible.
We fired Rafe Judkins. We can go on now.
There is no apology.
The announcement would be Amazon decides to actually make Wheel of Time this time around.
Yeah.
That would be the actual announcement.
That's true.
And
I just thought that Gary was bloody brilliant with that.
Wheel of Slime.
Yeah.
Well, and to Minnie's point earlier, the thing is, I mean, Amazon spends ton of money on this Rings of Power stuff, and you've got Wheel of Time getting a bunch of money, and all of this. We're spending so much. And some people made the point in the chat, limitations on resources drive creativity. I mean, we would not have Star Wars as Star Wars without Gary Kurtz sitting there saying, George, we don't have the money to do that. For every George Lucas, we need a Gary Kurtz, and Kevin Feige doesn't have one.
It's Cherry Jones.
And that's the problem with all of the Marvel stuff is you've got nobody sitting there saying no. You can't do that.
Well, it's not just so much somebody saying no.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the more important thing. No, but let me say this. It's that is part of it, but also it's part of it is getting the individual to go make it work with what you got.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, and not only that, if somebody says no, is it worth the fight? Right. Like if you can't justify the means to spend it on, then yeah, if you're finding yourself stretching for an argument to be made there, then maybe you shouldn't be spending that money. Yeah. Right. Like watch the Offer. I think it's a brilliant way to see how a movie is made and to see how to juggle the idea of not having a shit ton of money, working against the studio, having to compromise constantly, but also still fighting for your vision. And you can see when, they fight the hardest is when it's the most important for the story. Right. And at the time, I'm sure they had no clue what, The Godfather was going to become, but because of their work, just that or Jaws would be another great example, or Star Wars for that matter, like you just pointed out, because they had limitations. And it's not so much just saying no, it's making it work with what you got though. And when you have endless means and you can do anything you want, that just a lot of times doesn't lend itself to any creativity. It lends itself to being lazy.
Agreed. Well, and you got another example is Marvel back in the Jim Shooter days, when Jim Shooter comes in as editor and starts treating Marvel Comics like a business, where there's deadlines and there's budgets and expectations to manage, and it's not just, hey, let's all sit in the playpen for a while and shoot a bunch of ideas to the wall. Jim Shooter actually managed it like a business. And you look at Marvel now, not so much. It's just an IP farm. The comics don't matter anymore. Same thing over at DC. Nobody cares about the source material and making good source material. All they're doing now is going back and trying to find the nuggets of stories that they can maybe adapt kind of sort of into a movie that costs $250 million, and it's
with bad drawing
ruining all of that stuff. Not only are the superhero movies ruining the superheroes, but they're ruining Hollywood.
Well, I would say we could put that in the past tense. They've ruined Hollywood. Yep. But we need to actually start to get some of these folks out, because the balds are all about to check out. So we'll stop with the oldest bald.
Hey, is that a fact? Am I the oldest?
Well, you're the oldest bald.
I probably am the oldest, to be honest. When I was back in the day in the 60s when I was a kid, Bing Crosby and Bob Hope were still big stars. Yeah, major stars. Even Danny Kaye was still huge stars. Times have changed. Hardly anyone remembers them now, I guess. But I have. Oh, sorry, that's not the screen I was trying to share. This is the exclusive picture of you naked culture that I just found online. I don't know who posted it, but
yeah. Well,
that's you.
I've seen to put on some weight since then. So yeah, thanks for that. You got stuff coming up there?
Yeah, tomorrow, sir, on my channel. It's only Talk and Roll show at 3 p.m. Mountain Time is a celebration of Ronnie James Dio, as it's the physical media release of the Dio documentary Dreamers Never Die. So I thought it would be nice to gather together some of his friends that worked with him and knew him, guys like Willie Fife and Colin Hart, road managers for him for many years, and we'll do a celebration of the immortal Ronnie James Dio. It's going to be a wonderful show for a wonderful man. So I'm looking forward to that very much. And I'll probably be dropping into the Monday Night Meltdown to talk about the Continental again. So.
Oh, I can't wait for that show. I'm looking forward to that. And I know somebody else is looking forward to talking about it. It's Bankable.
Yes, I am. I enjoyed the show very much. Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. Monday Night Meltdown or Monday Meltdown tomorrow on Comics Division's channel. Then Wednesday, I've got the After Hump show on Rumble only. And me and 70s Rock Fan are rebooting for season 2, Bourbon and Boarding on Saturday nights on his YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, 10 p.m. Mountain. We did a show last night and did our fantasy drafts. So we've got some competition going on in the chat.
You guys are always entertaining.
I did my other fantasy draft today, Brahma, for my other team. And once again, I was 11th out of 12th to pick.
Is it a snake at least?
I'm always at the bottom of the draft, at the bottom of the cycle.
I'm
So
pretty
good
sure
luck.
he rigged our draft because he got first pick and I got last pick.
That was the first time I'd ever had anything in the top half of a pick, never mind the bottom half, but never mind.
Yeah, very good. And of course, the amazing Tom Connors, who I'll be hanging out with tomorrow morning. Tom.
What I do?
What I do? 20-second elevator speech.
What I do?
He likes turtles.
I filled my dishwasher in the time y'all was yakking.
Excellent.
What did you fill it with, though?
Ooh, I love that.
Stuff. Like dishes.
Stuff.
I'll be on the morning show, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be there. All right. That was exciting. Next up is Toxic Man Flu. He's got to go and do some stuff.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in bed a couple hours ago, but yeah, whatever. I got to get up early. Miss Flu's flight. Thank you for having me on Culture. It was great to talk to you. It was great to meet Mrs. Boss. I'm very sorry you have to put up with Jason, but somebody has to, and I'm glad it's you and not me.
There you go. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to save the best for last, which means Jason, you're up.
Okay. All right. So sci-fi4me.com. We just posted a review of The Exorcist Believer.
What'd you think?
Tim went and saw it. He says it's not bad, but it doesn't really do very much in the way of anything new.
Oh boy.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And then ignore that fake news to the next to the picture. That's not
and
true.
that's the. We're not back yet. We do have a channel on YouTube and on Odyssey and on Rumble, so you can find us all.
That's right. You do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we should quit more often because the channels continue to grow. I mean, we're over 500 on Odyssey. We're getting close to 2,500 on YouTube. So
nice.
There's one or two of you out there that hasn't subscribed yet.
Quit more often. Yeah,
I should.
That's what we keep saying.
Just quit harder, Jason. Quit harder.
Oh, right. It's like, see, it's like this is the principle behind flying, right? You aim toward the ground and you miss.
That's right.
Yes.
I think we got one last member chat, and I thank you for that, Tox. Economics, 1 month streaming versus
what? You want me to do what?
I think you let me know that was there.
No, that was me.
Did I tell you anything?
That was me.
Oh, Jason did that. No, you didn't do anything then. Sorry,
Jason, because we look so much alike.
It false flag.
Right.
Anyway,
it's the hat. No, it's the glasses. That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, Michael says economics 101, streaming versus the theater experience. Indeed, and I think you're going to start to find that, and all these companies are going to start.
If I spend $12,000, I can have a theater experience at home.
True story. But the point being is the studios need the theaters. They really do. The streaming thing is going to fade. It started to fade already, and it's too expensive for people to have 27 streaming things. And last but not least, we are going to let the Mrs. Boss have her moment in the sun.
Now, if I hit
Mhm.
present, that shows what's on my screen.
I-
Correct.
Only
yeah.
if only if
Only if he allows it.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's y'all were talking about your fantasy teams and all that stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I'm stepping up a little bit here and switching and doing the I don't know if that. Let's see, share
Present.
screen.
Yeah, you want to
And
share the whole screen. You just want to share maybe a tab.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. There we
Those are
go.
naked pictures of Jason.
So we've got Fat Bear Week.
Oh, I love
So-
Fat Bear Week.
Yep,
Oh,
we're,
yeah,
we're
Fat
in there. So we've got the
We're not in there.
those-
I'm not a fat bear, neither are you. We're not in there.
We'll have that discussion later.
We are
But
in Fat
anyway.
Bear.
It's just a competition in San Francisco.
No.
No, they're
Mm.
really bears. These are
Oh, this
awesome.
Bears out looking for Twinkies or
Oh,
what?
hey, just really quickly, this Mrs. Boss is Mrs. Boss for Jason.
Yes,
this is
this
not
is mine,
the-
Mrs.
this
Boss.
is not
Culture Boss.
This is not the boss.
Not Culture Boss.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No.
Culture Boss does not yet recognize the missus in her
True.
title. Yeah.
All right.
So
here.
yeah,
Everybody
we're
wants to
on Fat Bear Week, and there are pictures on their website. You can sit there and see what the bears looked like and what they are now looking like as they get ready for winter. Then on top of that, I will go ahead and flash this guy up. Let's
Oh
see.
no, you can't flash things. We get in trouble for that.
No.
What?
Crazy,
Okay.
crazy.
Do you see that?
It's Pumpkin Week
Nope.
early.
No, we
No.
still see Bear Week.
Yeah,
Oh, we still see
it'll
that.
only be in that one tab.
Oh, I get you. I see. So
Yeah.
I got to reselect that I want to do this.
StreamYard 101.
Yeah, no, the
I'm
Fat Bear Week is they do it in Alaska every year, and if you watch the end of my streams, we've been doing bear stories leading up to this, so the humorous ones. So here you go. There you
And
go. Oh, hey,
this
there it is.
here is my. I'm the editor over here at Fan Activity Gazette, and it's for the
Yeah.
National Fantasy Fan Federation. This is my second issue that I did recently, so if you get a chance, you can check it out. And got lots of fun things in here. Mr. Boss helps very much because
little.
I'm still learning.
Well, you seem to be doing a fine job, and yeah, it's a cool publication. So there you go.
So yeah, that's my things. Bears and fanzines.
Very
I
good.
put-
All
I
right.
put the
Well,
link
we are off.
in the chat.
Okay.
Say again. What happened?
I said
Would
I
you
put-
like
I
me
put
to
the link
post it in the
background.
chat?
Oh,
If
yeah,
anybody was, I was just gonna.
Yeah, you can post it for sure.
All right,
Okay,
I will do that.
I have done it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You guys can check out that wonderful fanzine. I even wrote an article over there
Yes.
last month. So or
Yeah.
last time around or last publication.
My
So-
first one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank
it was
you.
was a good time.
And the upcoming one will have an essay from Tony Weiskopf, who is the publisher at Bayan Books.
Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. All right,
And
on
you-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. I was gonna
Oh.
say you did get compliments from
Oh, I-
a reader.
I can't believe that. That's great. All right, so what we'll do now is we will do the end. But if you've ever been here for the end, it's never quite the end. It goes on and on and on. It goes.
Sorry.
Strangers waiting.
Oh.
Up
And if you
down.
play that one thing at the end, I will tonight, because I have to get up early, press the red end stream button if you play that.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. Talking about cottage cheese.
I don't have anything on cottage cheese.
Yeah.
It was at this moment that he knew. He up.
Everybody's still here because I didn't have a chance to hit any buttons because I was being threatened by the producer. Kind of worried.
What?
Yeah. Are you threatening me?
By the way, the Walt Disney Company is at $82.94 a show right now.
Those bastards. They need to stay at 75 so Mexican Iron Man has to start live streaming.
Yeah, I want that to happen. How can we?
You press some buttons?
I'm trying to find some buttons to push.
This is more awkward than usual.
It is.
Neighbors bothering you with their loud music?
You know who else in there?
Your boss or coworker harassing you?
Wait, what? Who said that?
Maybe you have a roommate who cries in their sleep. Bully Mays here with a solution that proves every problem has a mortality rate. Introducing Shank Crate, your all-in-one monthly subscription box that can take care of those in-your-face issues. Each box contains new and unique materials for you to build your very own custom shank.
Oh my gosh.
And for your protection, the contents of each box are totally secret until you receive it. And not only does it create solutions, it also serves as a creative outlet, like an adult form of Lego.
Oh, yeah. Right? That is a literal knife's edge.
Maybe you, like some of our other customers, have questions.
Can I bring it to school?
Who's ever heard of a pencil not being allowed at school?
Can you store it in a pocket?
Absolutely.
What if you don't, have any pockets?
Your discretion. Whether you're conscientious about the earth or just not opposed to being a good steward of the environment, each Shank Crate and its contents are made of 100% recycled materials to make sure we're environmentally friendly. And if you order now, we'll be extra sensitive to the environment and keep all the original fingerprints on the items for your convenience. All for the low cost of $19.99 a month. Call 626-831-9333 to get your Shank Crates today. If you call now and secure your monthly subscription for only $19.99, you'll get your very own alibi insurance for those slightly stickier situations. But wait again, there's even more. To be inclusive, culturally respectful, and as patriotic as possible, each monthly box is themed after a unique prison in the US of A. So call 626-831-9333 now to get your very own unique, patriotic, and environmentally friendly Shank Crate with your own personal alibi insurance.
You know, I've occasionally been tempted to call that phone number and see if it's real. You survived. You survived the entire show.
Yes.
Well after Pumpkin Hour.
I'm getting close to it.
Oh, you're well past Pumpkin Hour.
And we're still in the show.
I know. But this is the part of the show that's the end of the show that goes until the end of the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're not back.
We're not back. Not yet.
Oh my God, the cock.
Wow.
Oh, I was going to say that we've had a couple on screen there. Maybe we're going to get another coupling, but it's a threesome.
It's the Balds.
It's the Balds.
You know, I'm gonna do what Jason did. You remember in Don't Mess with the Zohan when all the stores were labeled like going out of business, something like that. So I'm just gonna redo another channel that's, you know, this is my final stream, and that'll be the name of the channel.
So it's your opening video is this is
And
my final
we'll
video.
just see how many people show up. Every single stream will be this is my last stream.
Well, every day you could make another video saying it's your last video, just because exponentially the crowd will build then by the looks of it. But
exactly.
great. It's a good enough idea. I mean, it might work better than my let's make lots of videos and do lots of live streams and work really hard.
Yeah, that seems like way too much work.
Seems like
I don't
way
wanna do
too much trouble. Although I did pass 1,200 subscribers today on YouTube for the first time.
Congratulations.
So
Cheers to that.
Slow but steady, you know.
Yeah, that's the other option. You could name it "My Channel is Under Attack" as the name of the channel.
And then just
Nice, release the
thumbnails
crack.
that said, Why did they do this? Question mark.
And don't even use my picture in the thumbnails. Just use Jeremy's or the Quarterings or Nerdrotics. Just my channel is under attack with their pictures.
If you've got all these great ideas, how come we're not superstars already?
Because I haven't implemented it yet.
Your cunning plan is you're going to wait for 15 years, then you're going to do it.
Plus, we just announced it to a whole bunch of people that would
That's true, but
maybe possibly be subs.
People don't listen, Brahma, so nobody heard that.
Why am I still here?
I don't know, but we mentioned Nathan Fillion, Firefly. What a show!
Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around. And birth you. Never going to make you cry. Never going to say goodbye. Never going to tell a lie.
Now I ran the Gary clip, and that's okay.
That's not what exactly what I'm talking about. All right. And the Culture Casino, my channel is under attack channel.
Yeah.
Is going to be released tomorrow.
Okay. That'll be fun.
It'll be right next to the comics division's going out of business comic book specials.
I love it. Let's do it.
And after that, it'll be The Last Bald Standing. Will be a video, a game where we have all the balds, and they have to answer a question about bald actors in movies. Right? It'll be The Last Bald Standing.
The Last Bald Standing.
It'll be good.
Yeah, the guys are smiling in the back there, so maybe that's a bad
Brahma
idea.
never smiles.
That's true. Brahma looks like he's like permanently.
Wait, I take that back. Brahma does smile. When we pulled out that Hibiki 12 year,
oh, that's right.
He did smile, right? And then he immediately started drinking out of the chuck wagon or whatever that was. That got comics drunk, and comics took one sip drunk. It was, I don't know what kind of whiskey that was.
The chat really doesn't want the Gary clip. I just played the Gary clip, so we're fine. We're fine.
Just no.
I hope
I prefer my cottage cheese in the refrigerated section.
I understand. I just hope everybody has a great week. This is one of the
You're
best.
Gonna play it anyway, aren't you?
Take it off. I'm not. You said you'd try to take us off the air.
Of course, I would save the world. I don't know. Actually, if I could press a button and save the world, taking this stream off the air would not be in the top 10.
I didn't think so. On that note, everybody have an amazing week. And you know what? We're just going to go AO.
AO.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad.
Ayo, ayo.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face.
Hey, what?
Dead again.
What did we do?
Hey, Tox. I don't
Hey,
know.
how you doing? Ladies and
Pretty good.
gentlemen, announcing the new game show, Does Your Chrome Dome Match Your Crotch Monster? With your host, Culture Casino. See, I think that'd work.
Yeah.
Do you have style and flair? A bit of savoir-faire? Well, you're in luck. For just a few bucks, it's not out of reach. Time to get back to the beach. That's right. Beach Punk is now available for a limited time exclusively from Mixed Tees. The Make America Beach Again line is top-notch, top quality, and all about answering that question, are you beach enough? I know I'm Knuff. Are you? Be prepared for your very own beach off. We've got towels. We've got t-shirts. We've got muscle tanks too. And if you're cold-blooded, we also have hoodies. Not to mention mouse pads and so much more. Check out the ever-expanding line of Beach Punk gear available at Mixed Tees. Your home for YouTube-exclusive clothing from your favorite creators. From the minds of Dick's Division comes Beach Punk. Are you Knuff?